Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull for Saint Elimine. This is a character that I never thought would be in Fae, but I am so excited that she is here, and I'm really hoping that we can get both her and Claude today. So we will talk about this banner as we go along, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so our plan for today is going to be to snipe colorless, and I'm really hoping that we can get either Elimine or Claude before the 40 so that we can end up getting both. I did make Sarah my lead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, she came home. Oh gosh, I love that art so much. It is just beautiful. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is perfectly neutral. I am so happy with that. I'm so glad that she came home so quickly because now we have her and we can at least get one Claude. I've tried on every single banner that he has been on and mine is only +1. And funny enough, he's pretty much always shared with Ashera, and she really likes to come home like multiple times. So I'm really hoping that this time he will decide that he wants to come home and we can at least get a couple of copies. Because I did look to see when he returns, and that pool is definitely not as strong as this one. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not even surprised. We got another Ashera. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. That is really good. So that will be my 7th Ashera. And it's even funnier because when I was playing Failionaire on Swiftsea's channel, and if you have not seen that, you should definitely check out his channel. It's really good. The question that I went out on was a question about all the colorless tomes in the game. And despite the fact that I have pulled her 6 times, I completely forgot that she existed. But apparently that was not enough to not make her come home. So hopefully we kind of switch that luck and Claude takes her place. But she is a really good unit, so I won't be mad if she comes home too. Oh my goodness, that is Elise. That is the best 4-star special that I could possibly get. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. All right, let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. That is absolutely amazing. I can't remember if the one I have is plus speed or plus attack, but I think that they're both really good. And I would love to get her to +10 one day. I think mine is +3, so maybe this will be +4. But I think that we've talked about all of the colorless units on the banner, and if we don't have colorless, I think that we should go for green, because I feel like all of those units are very strong. I think that Ascended Fjorm is a fantastic unit with really good fodder as well. And she also shares with Otur and Atri, and those two are not characters that I like, but I think that the fodder is pretty good. So I would not be upset with either of those two. And as for the other colors on the banner, if we don't have our desired colors, I'd probably go red next, because I think that Volk is very valuable. Lethality is such a fun skill, and he also shares with Constance, who I absolutely love. So maybe we can get her here, who knows. But if we don't have any of those colors, I really do like everybody in blue. They're not the strongest, but I do like them. So I really feel like you can't go wrong with anybody on the banner. So I guess that really does cover everybody now. So we can go ahead and answer some viewer questions. And as always, if I did not get to your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So our first question today comes from Retro Beetle, and they ask, what are some songs that you would like to see added to the Aether Raids concert hall, and do you think it would be a good idea to have older seasonal units added to a unique 4-star special pool that only appears on seasonal banners? All right, so as for your first, oh my goodness, we got another Elimine. I am so excited to see her. That is amazing. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is plus res. That's going to be really good for her, and I'll have to decide if I want to merge into the first one or into this one. But either way, that is absolutely amazing. And getting back to this lucky question, I will admit I have never actually spent any of the currency to get more music in the Aether Raids concert hall. But I don't think that they have any TMS, and all of the music from that game is really good, so I guess that's what I would want to see. And as for your second question, I think that is an absolutely amazing idea for special banners moving forward. because I think that at this point it's really difficult to justify spending on those year 1 banners. Like, it's really going to be hard for me to justify pulling for Bunny Xander this year, but I probably will anyway. But if we had those as 4-star specials, I feel like more people would be incentivized to pull, and it would just make everybody really happy. So yeah, that's what I would love to see in the future. But thank you for that very lucky question. Okay, let's pull this next colorless, and we will answer another one. And this question comes from Lucas. And they ask, with you playing World Flipper, do you have a favorite character? And what are your thoughts on Elm so far? Okay, so as for World Flipper, it's been a minute since I've actually played, but I definitely have a favorite character from the game. It has to be Eclair, just because I love her design. Basically anybody with a tiara I'm going to like, and she has pink hair, so definitely her. But as for your second question about Elm, you know, I don't love him so far. His aesthetic is not something that's really something that I'm into. But I do think that the sprite with the bat is really, really well done. It always makes me smile. And who knows, they could turn his character around. He could be really interesting, but as of right now, that's not really a character that I enjoy. But thank you for those great questions. And let's go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Trazom Guy. And they ask, would you say that you're an optimist or pessimist? Because you always sound so happy in your videos. And what are your favorite moments in Fire Emblem? All right, so as for your first question, I would say that it really depends. I am somebody that tries to see the best in everything. Like, if something bad happens, I try to find a silver lining. But it really depends upon the situation. I will say that, like, at work, I am definitely a worrier. And about the heavier things in life, I definitely worry a lot. But I do try to find the positives. And when it comes to playing games and the lighter things in life, I'm definitely an optimist. Because when I'm playing games, I'm in my happy place and I can just relax and not worry about all the big things in life. So I sound happy because I really am happy and joyful when I get to play games and relax. So I hope that answered your question. I know it was long-winded. But as for your second question about my favorite moments in Fire Emblem, I think that there are probably two. The first one is when I met La Rochelle for the first time, because when I was playing Sacred Stones, I'd already met a couple of characters that I definitely liked, but it wasn't like on a Sarah level where I was immediately like in love wanting to play that character all the time. But then I met La Rochelle, and I immediately knew I found the best character. I loved her design. I loved how fun she was, how she immediately stood out. And yeah, it was just instant, and it really sticks out in my head. And another one that comes to mind for me is when I was playing Awakening. I think it was chapter 21, I could be wrong, where Lucina confronts Robin, and in all my playthroughs, Robin was her mom. And that whole confrontation and choice was just so emotional and powerful, and it just stays with me to this day. So I think those would be my two answers. But thank you for those great questions. All right, so let's back out and we will answer another one. And this question comes from Protoy, and I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. And they ask, if you could build yourself as a unit, what would you look like and what would your niche be? So I think that if I had the choice, I would say that I would be a healer. And I think that I'd probably function pretty similarly to Elimine. I would love to have like an attack animation that's the sparkliest in the game because I feel that's very, very fitting. And I think that I would be a pretty good support. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got another one. You know what? All shares are welcome. That's great. Let's check IVs. And she is plus defense. We take that. And I feel like at this point, I'm just going to have to merge her up. I have kept a couple of copies just in case I needed her lull for something. But I feel like when you have this many, it just makes sense to merge. So I feel like that's probably what I'm going to do. But getting back to this lucky question, I think that if I could have a PRF as a healer, I would have something built in that was like a spectrum drive for everybody, so that I could like cheer on my teammates. I think that would be great. And if I weren't a healer, I think that I would probably be a mage unit that could rally other people. But thank you for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Undead Eggmeister. And they ask, if you were a cookie, what kind of cookie would you be? Well, I think that I would be a frosted sugar cookie with sprinkles. Actually, you know what? Not sprinkles, edible glitter instead, because that's always better. But thank you for that very creative question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. We got 10 polls left, so hopefully we can get a Claude in that time. So this next question comes from Squatch, and they ask, are there any characters that you used to dislike or were neutral about, but then by talking with friends or watching videos from other FE tubers, you changed your perspective about them? Okay, so I will say it's really difficult to change my mind when I have decided that I don't like a character. Like, I feel like somebody could do a whole essay on why Surtur is good, and they probably could not change my mind. But I will say that there are characters that are associated with FE tubers that I definitely have more of a soft spot for because I associate them with those channels. Like, for example, Naji and Felicia, I definitely like her more because of Naji. Like Ike and Tacho, and definitely Deirdre and Wylia, and Claire and Ghost Valkyrie, all of those. And there are definitely a lot of other ones, but I think that having those characters associated with those channels that I watch definitely helps. But thank you for that great question. And we get a Tethys. All right, so we'll back out and let's go ahead and answer another one. And this question comes from Giratina Light. And they ask, how do you feel about book 6 so far? And what do you think of Leticia and what's happening to poor little Veronica? All right. Oh my goodness. How? Oh my goodness, we got another Elise. I'm so excited to see her. I think that'll be +5. All right, let's check IVs. And she is +HP. We absolutely take that. So getting back to this lucky question from Giratina Light, I do think that book 6 has been better than book 5 so far, just because that was not a book that I really enjoyed. I do like that we're going back to the older characters, and I do not like Leticia so far. Maybe she'll have a redemption arc, but I really think the only thing I like about her is that she has the same voice as Amber from Genshin Impact. And I will say that Veronica is growing on me a little bit. She is a character that I didn't really care for previously, but she is starting to grow on me because she's getting a personality and I think some growth. So who knows, maybe I will end up liking her. But thank you for that very lucky question. Okay, Smoke. And we get a Nana. All right, so let's go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Erica Stokes. And it's a rapid fire round. And they ask, would you want these characters to get resplendence? Base Lachesis, absolutely. Rebecca, double absolutely. She needs it like yesterday. No way. No way. Oh my goodness. I think I've gotten more Elises in the summoning session than I have in the past year. And she is +defense. I am super, super happy with that. So getting back to this lucky question from Erica Stokes, definitely a resplendent for Lachesis and Rebecca. Aries, sure. Ephraim, definitely. Ninian, she is probably one at the top of my list for that. Matilda, yes, because I think she needs the stats, and although I like her art, I'd love to see her with some new art as well. And Titania, sure. I feel like she's a character that probably deserves it too. But thank you for that very lucky question. And we get a Legault. All right, we're at our 40, but we have to pull this colorless, and I'm going to turn my phone upside down because I feel like that's going to call Claude home. Okay, Smoke. Oh my goodness. Well, it did not call home Claude, but we got yet another Ashera. And we get a Blessing. And she is +defense. So I'll have to look to see how many that actually was for merges, but I feel like we're fairly close to +10 now. But luckily we can go ahead and get at least one Claude. I am so, so happy that we can do this. Yay! Oh my goodness, I love his art so, so much. And one day, like in 10 years, he will be +10. And we get a blessing and we get the thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and end things here. I do not have words about how happy I am for how this went. We got everything on the wish list and 3 Elise, which seems impossible, but we did it. And I just hope that your summons are just as lucky. I want to thank everybody that submitted questions. I really appreciate the support. And as always, thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.